It's good to have you here.
It's good to have you too. Okay.
Hey. Yeah.
Every shoes like this?
Not every show. Not every Shabbos.
He didn't pick it. You don't think they call, by the way. I love
ready?
You missed all the dancing.
There's nothing like that.
It was
Next
like
time.
It happened, boy.
Next time.
It was like Breslov Scooby and Van dancing.
Wow.
Sorry, I just saw that band when I was there to throw. And it was painted like this. Alright, I'm ready.
Okay. Shh.
Alright, we want to thank the I want to thank the following sponsors: Yehuda Bookwalter, in memory of his father, Usher Zelik and Yaakov Yehuda Havili, for his upcoming second yard site on Sunday the 25th. Shamash Aliyah.
Amen.
Shuli Rosenberg, Lili Nishmas, Zedi Alan Kutner, Rabbi Yehuda Abraham, Ben Rabbi Shuaz, Neshama Shavaliah, may have tremendous nachas from all his kids and grandkids.
Amen.
And Matt and Diane Marks, in memory of Matt's mother, Sylvia Marks, or Pesher Bas Moshe Mordechai, whose yard site was this past Monday, her Neshama Shavaliah.
Amen. Amen. All right, Tabos, say good night of Shabbos, such as the sheets are out. Are there more? Any more? Are there more down there? More sheets over there? No, we're out. I'm sorry.
I can hold this on.
What I could do is I could. Is there more over there? Ah, perfect. All right, Baruch Hashem. Oh, Karetz, good. We have plenty. I mean, I knew that I made a lot this time. All right, we'll say good night of Shabbos. So we are picking up in Meretz Hashem, picking up in Sif. We're picking up in Sif Mem Aleph in the Piagetz, no? And the Rebbe here we have a couple of really, really beautiful pieces tonight. So beginning in Meretz Hashem page, was it Shin Pei Beis? Good. Shin Pei Beis Mem Aleph. So the Rebbe says as follows. Piagetz says as follows. This is a very, very profound idea that I think actually is going to fit very beautifully and segue very beautifully. And first of all, I'll say a special welcome to Shalom to Reb Steve, who's back from Eretz Yisrael. Back from visiting his children, his grandson. And again, I remarked last week, I don't know if you had a chance to listen to the show last week, but we thank you. We thank you very much. And even when you're not physically here, Hashem always coordinating, helping with the share. Special thank you to Jonas and Kaplan for the beautiful spread tonight. The Shkar of Yonasan. And special thank you to Rabbi Yisrael for really just coordinating everything. Yisrael Blumen again. So with that, let's begin. So we're up to Sif Mamah. Says the Rebbe, "If shalachal rachek es yitzircha bilti in kishetisneehu." So I'll say this is a very powerful idea. So remember again, already in Sif Mem, already in last week, we were talking about the ability to rule over your Yetzer. Right? In the Piagetz, it says that a person has to approach life with the understanding that I control my Yetzer. I am in control. I control my desires, my wants, my proclivities. I might not control what I want, and I may not control what I desire, and I may not have certain control over certain innate dispositions or proclivities or wants or lusts, but at the end of the day, I absolutely control whether or not I act on them. I am in control of me. I can't control, this is incredibly important. You can't necessarily control what you feel, at least initially, but you can control whether or not you continue to feel it, and you certainly could control whether or not you choose to act on those feelings. So this is the concept that the Rebbe is developing, and Imam Alpha takes it a step further. It says, the only way to distance yourself from your Yetzer Hara. The only way, and Abbas, remember again, we spoke about this all the time, we see like Yetzer Hara, right? So again, sometimes we're very much locked, like in our childish conceptions of Yetzer Hara, right? He's not the guy in the red suit, with the pitchfork who stands on my shoulder, trying to get me to sin. The Yetzer Hara represents the God-given internal self-sabotaging mechanisms that each of us have. Right? Both say, you ever have a situation in life where everything is going so well, and then you just do something to pull the rug out from under you? Right? Right? Is that right? First, again, it happens all the time. right? Certainly, again, in the context of marriage, it happens all the time, right? A man says something to his wife, and he's like, why did I say that? Right? Maybe I was brightest, I was in a bad mood, I was upset, I was unhappy, and so like I let something fly. Every day, right? That's why I avoided eye contact with you. I was looking over here, right? So this ends up happening that like, and then when you ever have one of those shalom bayis moments, like, why did I do that? That was so stupid. It was so unnecessary. Okay, sometimes again there's conflict in a relationship. It happens. Sometimes it's even unavoidable. But then every so often I do something. I'm like, and again, how often does it happen in our own ruchnius? In our own ruchnius, I do an avera. We all do averas. And sometimes I commit an avera. Well, often I commit an avera. But sometimes in the aftermath of the avera, I think to myself, why did I do that? I was strong. I'm strong enough to resist. I didn't need to do that. I could have resisted that. I could have been better than that. So the Rebbe says, if a person wants to really control their Yetzer, or his Lashon over here is distance themselves from their Yetzer, you have to hate it. You have to hate it. You have to despise your Yetzer Hara. So I'll say that this is a fascinating idea. In general, there's an interesting idea. Rabbi Nachman has a whole piece about this. When we finish all of the works of the Piazetzna, right? So by that time again, I'll be shuffling in over here on my walker, and Amir Hashem, the Chalan's going to be pureed, so but Amir Hashem, when we get through all the works of the Piazetzna, then we're going to go to Rabbi Nachman. Right? And Rabbi Nachman, because Rabbi Nachman, the truth is, one of the pieces of Rabbi Nachman that I've never given a shir on, that I really want to give a shir on, is Likutei Halachas. Rabbi Nachman has a whole body of work that is written in accordance with the Shulchan Aruch. There's a halacha, and then Rabbi Nachman brings down the hashkafa of the halacha in his Likutei Halachas. It's a very, very profound and incredible work.
Sunday night shir.
I'm sorry?
Sunday night's available. Right?
Sunday night is available, yes, it is.
I have to ask the Rebbe.
Oh yeah, you don't even have to ask. I'll be sleeping at your house. Not a problem. Right? She's fine. Yeah, right, correct. Just tell her I have a levaya. All right, might be my own, but okay. So listen to this. So the Rebbe says in the beginning of the Likutei Halachas, he echoes this same concept, this same idea, namely this yisod about having to hate the Yetzer Hara and despising the Yetzer Hara. Now, hate is a very interesting idea, because if you notice, by the way, right, if you think about it, right, who's the worst enemy of Klal Yisrael? The worst enemy of Klal Yisrael? Amalek. What's the mitzvah when it comes to Amalek? What's the mitzvah? To wipe them out. Interestingly enough, there's no mitzvah to hate Amalek. There's no mitzvah to hate Amalek. It's fascinating, right? You have to wipe them out. You have to destroy them. You have to obliterate any semblance or memory of them. Yet, there is no mitzvah to despise Amalek. No mitzvah to despise Amalek. So, I'm sorry? You even have to remember them, right? So, why is that? So, in general, hatred is a very toxic emotion. A very toxic emotion. Hate itself is corrosive. That's why, again, what we're obligated to do with evil is we're obligated to obliterate it. We're obligated to wipe it out. We're obligated to destroy it. But if you notice, again, there's never a tzivui to despise evil. And that's because, again, that feeling of hate. But yet, what the Rebbe is pointing out is something really incredible, that there are certain things that you have to hate. One of the things you have to hate, the Rebbe says, is your Yetzer Hara. That a person has to have almost like a profound aversion to that negativity that is within oneself. And I will say, you know what the problem is? You know how sometimes, again, when it comes to our Yetzer Hara, sometimes kind of the way we relate to it is, the Yetzer Hara is kind of like that person who you grew up with, who you know is a terrible influence on you. But you've been through so much together that you can't bear to cut yourself off from him. That's it. I know, I know this person literally is the worst. I know, when that person WhatsApps me, I know I shouldn't open it. I know that I shouldn't open it, right? Because it's going to be something grossly inappropriate. It's going to be funny as anything, right? But it's going to be terribly inappropriate. It's going to bring down my ruchnias. And I know really what I should just do is probably just, okay, I don't have to block someone's number, but just to say, you know what, this is not for me. But you know what? We've been together for 30 years. So, what am I supposed to do? That's the Yetzer Hara. The Yetzer Hara is one of those things that I know it exists, but the truth is it's been part of my life. It's been part of me for so long. Okay, whatever, it's here. I know he's not good. I know it's not a good influence for me. But what can I do? We're old buddies. We're old buddies. And says the Rebbe, it's important. And we're going to see there's different ways to relate to the Yetzer Hara. But a person, the Rebbe says, has to despise it. Because when you despise something, you want nothing to do with it. And really, when it comes to my Yetzer Hara, I don't want anything to do with it. I'll tell you when you can relate to this. You ever have, we mentioned this before, a person, you ever commit an Aveira, and then after you do it, you feel disgusted. Right? There are times when I do an Aveira, I'm like, I'm annoyed with myself, right? Like Lashon Hara is a good example of this, right? Lashon Hara is one of those things where after you do it, like when you're doing it, it's like, oh, this is the best thing in the world, right? And it feels so good, right? And then when you're finished with it, it's like, all right, that was foolish. That was foolish. And then there are other Averas that we do. And again, very often these type of Averas come up like in the world of immorality and things like this, immorality, where I do it, and it indulges a desire, and I feel good for a little bit, and then there's like a feeling of disgust that sets in. There's like a feeling of disgust that I can't believe I'm a person who did this. I'm better, and I'm disgusted with myself. The Rebbe says that power of disgust that emotion of disgust is very powerful. Because when you're disgusted by something, when you despise something, what you want to do more than anything is distance yourself from it. So the Rebbe says there has to be a certain element of disgust, of despisement, despisal, right? None of those are real words, but you understand, right? There has to be a certain element of despisal when it comes to the Yetzer Hara. Hainu, shetisorer belibcha sina elav. There has to be a hatred towards the Yetzer Hara. Al shu rotze la'abdecha mi beisa olamos. Because what does the Yetzer Hara want to do? The Yetzer Hara wants to make me lose two worlds, this world and the next. Now, how does the Yetzer Hara do that? So again, on one hand, the Yetzer Hara makes me lose. We know the world to come is obvious, right? Because if I sin, again, chas v'shalom, person can lose their portion in olam haba. But even this world, what does the Yetzer Hara do? The Yetzer Hara has to be focused on all the wrong things, right? When I can't disentangle it from my Yetzer Hara, I'm spending my days focused on all the wrong things, spending my life focused on all the wrong things. So the Yetzer Hara causes me to lose two worlds, this world and the next. And it messes you up. It messes you up. The Yetzer Hara doesn't allow you to see the world correctly. It doesn't allow you to go ahead and see life correctly. It doesn't allow you to see yourself correctly. It messes everything up. When I'm entangled with my Yetzer, with my desires, my wants, my lusts, my proclivities. So again, I lose this world because suddenly everything becomes about the hedonistic pursuit of pleasure and gratification. I lose this world. I lose the world to come. I can't see myself for what I am. I can't see my family. I can't see my friends. I don't know what to focus on. I lose everything. And therefore the Rebbe says, you have to hate that. You have to despise that. But I'll mention something interesting, which is, the reverse of this, of course, is the Yetzer Hara is also our best friend, right? And I say, I'm sorry? Right. So why is the Yetzer Hara my best friend? Because the Yetzer Hara provides the mechanism for the greatest amount of growth. Remember again, real growth comes when you have something pushing back against you. It's just like building muscle. The more resistance you have, the better the muscle, or the bigger the muscle becomes. Same thing in spirituality. Without a Yetzer Hara, without something pushing back on me, then the opportunity and ability for growth is not really there. So it's this incredible love-hate relationship. On one hand, I can't be me without the Yetzer Hara. On the other hand, I hate it. I despise it. And I will say, we've all felt that emotion of despisal of the Yetzer Hara. And he says, I just want to point out, by the way, we actually learned this in Daf Yomi, 2 days ago? Well, I'm off, right? I'm off in Daf Yomi, so I don't know where I'm to. We did this right 2 days ago. So I'll say. So this was. I'll listen to this Gemara for the not yet Daf Yomi Chaber. Listen to this. So the Gemara says this is Sanhedrin Mem Gimel Amud Beis. Amri B'Shom Levi. Hakol hazoveach es Yisro u'misvade alav ma'ala alav akasav kilo kibdo la'Kadosh Baruch Hu b'shnei olamim. So if a person, remember again this Gemara, if a person literally sacrifices his Yetzer Hara, right? Sacrifices his Yetzer Hara and confesses his sins, it's as if he's gone ahead and honored HaKadosh Baruch Hu in two worlds. So remember again how we explained this. So Rashi HaKadosh says, what does it mean that you offer? What does it mean you're sacrificing your Yetzer Hara? So Rashi says it means, I sinned, I made a mistake, and now I'm doing tshuva. So if I sin, I pick myself back up, I do tshuva. It's as if I'm giving honor to God in two words. Remember again the way we explained it a little bit differently in Shir. And the way we explained it was, what does it mean zoveach? I will say sometimes, in order not to indulge the Yetzer Hara, I have to sacrifice. I want more than anything to do this Avera. I want more than anything to indulge this want, this desire. When I sacrifice what I want for what HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants, I'm willing to offer up I'm willing to sacrifice the indulgence of my own personalistic desires in order to bend my knee before HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In other words, I'm sacrificing my Yetzer. What does the Gemara say? It is as if you have built a relationship with God in both worlds, this world and the next. The Piaget is just saying the same thing, just the opposite. When I indulge the Yetzer, which means I put my own needs before God's needs, then what? I lose out on a relationship with Hashem in two worlds. In this world and the next world. The Rebbe is really just echoing exactly what the Gemara says. The Rebbe is just adding in a very strong emotional component. That if somebody were to ask you, tell me, how do you feel about your Yetzer Hara? The Rebbe says, you have to respond, I hate it. Ooh, strong word, hate. We don't even say I hate Amalek. I hate my Yetzer Hara. Why? Because that is the one thing in life that holds me back. That is the one thing in life that sabotages me. That's the one thing in life that pulls the rug out from under me, and that's the one thing that constantly and consistently gets in my way. It was incredible. Once you have a true feeling of hatred and animosity towards the Yetzer, you'll have an easier time conquering it. See what I'll say, which makes sense. See, if we go back for a second, to be honest, why do I have such a problem overcoming my Yetzer Hara? What's the reason? As we just said before, because who's the Yetzer Hara? He's that guy from high school. You know that guy from high school who, when you see him, just the image of him reminds you of all the stuff you did. Right? When you were in high school, that guy, right? And on one hand, you're like, I don't want to talk to you. Oh, but I want to talk to you, right? And just the mere image conjures up all of this stuff that I know I should not even be thinking about. But it's swirling around. That's the Yetzer Hara. Come on, get out of my way. Oh my gosh, do you bring back such memories, Yetzer Hara? What we've been through together, right? What we've done together, right? The trouble we have caused. So the problem is, if he's my old buddy, then the truth is, I'm constantly going to fall into his clutches. The only way to kind of overcome him is to repudiate him. And the only way to repudiate him is to despise him. And the only way to despise him is to recognize, you're bad for me. You're bad for me. And you are the antithesis of growth. And I need to despise this. And again, I will say, essentially what they're talking about over here, I just want to point out, is despising a piece of ourselves, right? The Yetzer Hara is, remember again, is not something that is separate and distinct. The Yetzer Hara is something that's a part of me. What the Rebbe is saying is, it's important, to have certain parts of yourself that are in a state of disrepair, and to despise. Yonasan, thank you for the beautiful spread. Thank you. It is important. It is important to go ahead, says the Rebbe, and even though the Yetzer Hara is part of me, to despise it. Because if I despise it, then ultimately again, I'll want a distance. And if I want a distance, ultimately again, I'll be able to overcome it. He goes on, since there's sinah, I'll be able to rein it in. You have to continuously despise it, continuously hate it. Don't smirk about it, don't joke about it, don't wax on reflectively about it, right? Go ahead and, because if you despise it, then you'll overcome it. Kamo yetzer hara hamefata l'mas and levala teval chas v'shalom. So that's what Rebbe teaches us in Mem Aleph. A really profound idea. But again, I just want to point out, to kind of round it out, it is important to know that this is this love-hate relationship. On the other hand, without the yetzer hara, what are you? What are you without the yetzer hara? What are you?
Stagnant.
Dead. That's what you are, right? In other words, when a person's dead, they don't have the yetzer hara. So again, on one hand, the absence of the yetzer hara means that I'm dead. On the other hand, the presence of the yetzer hara means that I'm being brought down. So again, I gotta live with it. And so I gotta channel it in the right way. But I have to recognize that I despise it. Which also means also, to me, I'll tell you what I also take from this idea from the Rebbe. That each of us has to have parts of us that we're truly and fundamentally unhappy with. You know, sometimes we think that the goal in life is to be happy with yourself. Right? Love yourself. Be happy with yourself. Right? Sameach b'chalko, right? Be happy. And the truth is, yes, you should be happy with yourself and you should be happy with your lot. I will say, but it's also important to understand that there are parts of me that I don't like. There are parts of me that I don't want. And if you say, well, I don't have parts like that, then Lamaisa, it's important to understand that's self-delusion. Every single one of us has parts that are broken. And every single one of us have parts that are fundamentally corrupted. Now again, the beautiful part is that I could fix it. I could rebuild it. I could atone for it, right? I could lift it up. But it's there. But it's really there. And the Rebbe says, if you despise it, then you're going to want to do something. You know what it's like? You know, it's like, to me, one of the things I'm actively working on. I see it's like in the new building, I'm trying very hard to work on this. Is like there's so many like scratches and paint buffs and like really, come on, man, why do you have to keep on moving your chair like this back and forth into the wall? What? Because I feel like is it a contest? Like does somebody make a bet? You know, there's a footprint on a wall. I've been trying to figure out how does that happen? That there's a footprint on a wall. We have video cameras. I found out. Okay, a little person during youth groups. Okay, fine. I was just so bothered me. Then like, if I'm checking video footage for footprints on walls, there's something really wrong. Right? He's like, so because like with something so pure and pristine and beautiful, it's like you want to keep it, and then you realize, okay, you know what? This is life. This is what happens, right? This is what happens, right? So there's going to be that guy, and from the moment that he walks into shul, he's got to have both hands on a wall at all given times, right? He's just got to go, right? Okay, that's just going to be the way that it is. So the truth is, so what happens? So now you see, like, okay, whatever, leave it. Conversely, if somebody were to punch a hole in the wall, that you couldn't live with, right? That you'd have to repair. So kind of personalistically, it's the same thing. All of us have like these nicks, you know. We have like this, like the paint is rubbed out. I'm sorry. Like a new car, right?
Your new car,
you ding it, right? Just get it done with, right? So what happens? So a lot of times in life, like there's the little dings, like the little things, and so I convinced myself that I could like live with those. But if some major piece of damage were to occur, chas v'shalom, you got to fix that. You know that's not tolerable. The Rebbe says we all have like the scratches and dents. The yetzer hara is like the hole in the wall. No one lives with the hole in the wall. You repair it. Why? Because I can't take looking at that damage each and every day. It's too bothersome. Oh, is it time for Maverick? Let's go a few minutes. It's too bothersome. It's too overwhelming. I can't deal with it. That's the yetzer hara. And the same way that I can't look at that hole, I need to repair. I hate having that there. The Rebbe says that's how I have to look at the things that are broken inside. I hate being broken. I hate having brokenness inside of me. I hate it. I'm not going to live with it. It's not the little scratch of the pain. It's a whole, I hate it. And because I hate, see, here's the chap. We'll say, if you hate it, then what's going to happen? If you hate it, then what's going to happen?
You won't get better.
You're going to fix it. If you hate it, so again,
It's fundamentally impossible to fix it. Like you're living for the rest of your life. It's not a proper coping mechanism.
But you want to improve yourself.
Sure it is.
Improving yourself is fine, but like meaning you're asking yourself to hate something that you live with. It's like saying you're going to be married for the next 70 years.
Measure your next words. Measure your next words.
To one of my apologies, it's nothing to do. I love you.
There's a podcast. There's a podcast over here, right?
But
Continue.
fundamentally, you're in a relationship that you hate the other person the rest of your life. Meaning, you have two people you're living with the rest of your life. It's the you're telling someone to hate it. It doesn't meaning it's not a functional way to survive.
Why?
Hating something that you live with your whole life is not a proper way of going about things.
It's a negative emotion.
It's a negative emotion that doesn't.
It's a negative emotion that spurs me to take action. I hate having a hole in the wall. So what am I going to do?
But
I'm going to fix the hole.
So if someone walks into their house and you know you can't fix it, you're going to have the hole there the rest of your life. You're going to tell that person to walk into your house and hate it every day, or you find a way to survive with it. There's two different mentalities.
That's what the rabbi is saying, not find a way to survive.
I can hate the hole in the wall.
You find a way to glorify.
Right, so you're telling me to hate something, walk into my house and hate it every single day, and have that negative.
No, I'm telling you to fix it. To fix it, why can't you fix it?
Because you can't. You're always going to have your Torah.
No, let me say it differently. Ellie's raising a good point. Not about marriage, but about the Yitzhara. Right? So like this. Ellie's saying good. Like in other words, that's fine that you're going to hate it, but what about the fact that it's a part of your life for the rest of your life? So remember, I will say, what's the strategy with the Yitzhara? What's the strategy? Remember, we always speak about this. The Yitzhara, and we have to kind of lean into this reality, is that spiritual game of whack-a-mole. Right? What happens? You hit down one thing, and you got that down, and for 10 seconds, everything is good. Until what? Until the next thing pops up. So you're right. So the way it works, when I hate the Yitzhara, what I'm saying is right now there's something broken inside of me. So what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fix that hole in the wall. Do I recognize that a day later, 2 days later, 5 days later, 3 hours later, there's going to be another hole in the wall? I do. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to deal with that then. But the whole strategy with the Yitzhara, you're looking at the Yitzhara as a lifetime relationship. I think what the Rebbe is saying is, deal with the Yitzhara in the here and now. So right now, I have this hole in my personalistic wall. So now what's my avoda? Fix it. You're saying good. Shkoyach. You fix that hole. Wait 5 minutes, there's going to be another hole. I got it. I'm ready for that. I accept and lean into that reality. I'm going to fix this, and the next thing is going to happen. Just like in everything else in life.
Like fixing a taiva. I've gotten over that taiva. I know another one may come up. Now
Correct. That's exactly the way it is. But the beautiful part about the Rebbe says is that this is why life. So you're right, the Yitzhara is with me for life. And what's my responsibility vis-a-vis the Yitzhara? To keep fixing the holes in the wall, recognizing I will never be done. Hole after hole, difficulty after difficulty, challenge after challenge. But my avoda is hated enough to want to fix it, because if you don't hate it, you know what ends up happening? You walk into one day, there's a house, and the truth is, there's more hole than wall. That's what ends up happening. So at least again, if I'm despising and working as it goes, I'm filling in the holes. More are being created, but that's my avodah. I think that's what the Rebbe is saying. Oh, so let's begin Ben Beis for a few moments. Says the Rebbe, Mem Beis. We'll at least start this piece tonight, and then all right. So I'll just read the first line. Good. I would say, just the first line over here is so profound. He says, "Ribono Shalom." And I will say, now remember again, this is the Piaget's not talking, right? Just his own Lashonis over here. Kama Yimei Avdecha. How many years of life does a person have? Right? How many years of life is there? Masai Ashalim Eschovi. Asharafti l'nafshi. The Rebbe says, you know what I'm scared about most? I'm most scared about at the end of the day, will I fulfill my obligation? The Rebbe says, right, I have so much to accomplish in this world, so much to do, so much to be. Will I ever fully fulfill what you expect of me? Both say, I'm going to stop over here for tonight. A little bit of a cliffhanger. I will say, this is the next piece for next week. I just want to point out, this is the Rebbe, the Piagetna, who was a ridiculously accomplished person, yet worried about the existential danger of living an unfulfilled life. Both say, Shkech, Mariv in the base medrash.
I'll say it's similar to, I think, maybe say something along the lines of walk into a house, hate the hole, now spend your entire life building a frame around that hole, so the day you pass away, that hole is a piece of art or something. When you walk, you can hate it your whole life, and you'll hate it, and every day you add another screw to the frame, and eventually you build something beautiful.
He's brushing something off the yarmulke.
Yeah, I think it's good.
Did you ever watch the old Star Trek?
Sure.
There was this one episode, the transporter malfunctioned and split.